Hey guys, here we are in the garage, getting ready to do some upgrades to my car. Was watching Testa Speed Shop's videos, and I'm definitely going to be in need of some new bushings as well. As you can tell, they're all in there, probably original 1968. So I want to thank him for the videos. I'll probably take the control arms to Gary's shop and have him press in the new bushings when they get here. But right now I'm just going to change the front shocks here, and these are basically just some stock shocks. I am going to upgrade them a little bit with these KYB gas adjust shocks. They're supposed to be better than the stock shocks, and they're reasonably priced, so that way if later on down the road I do replace them with a little bit better shock, it's not going to break the bank. So I'm going to get those swapped out right here. Got the shocks in, everything is bolted down, and I'm going to take her for a test drive here. So see how she goes. It's kind of hard to tell here, but I can tell when I get in and out of the car, the front end is higher off the ground. I think when I adjusted the torsion bars before, the front shocks were so played out that it didn't make much of a difference. But I like the stance here, pretty much kind of even across, and I like the front end to look a little bit higher up off the ground. So I'm going to take it around the block and see how it drives. So as you can see, the air shocks were kind of a band-aid and was never meant to be permanent, so I just zip tied my little air feed nozzle right there, and I'll take you underneath and show you what we're working with down. So yeah, I did a little Bubba engineering when I did my air shock. Just use regular tape here. It's held up okay. You can see the bottom leaf spring mount there where the shock bolts on, and then when I bolted this one, it wound up stripping out all the threads on the bolt, so I JB welded the hell out of it. And yeah, that's not probably the safest thing, but I used it like Loctite. I threaded a few of the threads that were still there, and then I just globbed a ton of JB weld on there. The benefit of having two B-bodies is that I already have a spare set. So Gary had already taken the rear end out of my Coronet, and I went over there to pick these up, and when I went to get them, I was really bummed because the one that was mostly stripped out for me is broken off here, and I didn't know what I was going to do. I figured, oh, I guess I'm going to have to order them after all. But Gary told me about a cool little trick. Back in the day, they would take the driver's side spring mount and they would mount it on the passenger side, and that would relocate the rear shock in front of the axle on the passenger side. So I watched Jed's videos and I knew I needed the front mounting brackets, and I got my springs in. I posted on one of the forums what kind of shocks people were using with the super stock springs, and one of the guys said that he used shocks out of a 76 Ram Charger. The reason he did that is because they're a little bit longer than the shocks you would get for a B-body, and they would just work really well with the super stock spring. Alright guys, so I know most of my videos are pretty basic, and a lot of you guys could do this stuff with your eyes closed, but I can't, and anytime I get a chance to kind of do little hands-on projects myself, it's pretty fun for me, and I appreciate those of you guys that come along. So the reason I went with the super stock springs is because I thought it would be really cool. We're going to be running, double adjustable rear shocks with Caltrax on the Coronet, and I thought it'd be fun to do old school super stock springs with some little tricks here and there to see how the satellite would compare. Now, neither car is going to be like competing in the same time brackets, but at maybe the 60-foot times, you could see how well you could do with the super stock springs versus the Caltrax. But I don't know if that's gonna interest any of you guys. Let me know what you think. Talk to you later.